All right, let's get straight into our panel tonight. Tim Blair from the Daily Telegraph and Mark Nicholson from Stepmates Studios. Gents, welcome to the program. The Prime Minister's been on Radio National today, which normally you would think would be an easy ride, but he actually had a bit of a testy exchange with Patricia Karvelas. Take a listen to this.
Are you saying negative gearing and capital gains tax concessions are absolutely off the table for you?
Well, they're tax policies.
Yeah, but are those tax policies completely off the table for you?
Well, Patricia, I don't answer the sort of those sort of questions in the way that
you mean good ones.
Yeah,
that's a good question. Are you going to say no to those or not?
Clever. They're things that journalists. The next question is when will the election be?
I know that's not my next question.
Yeah, well, they're not terribly clever questions.
Tim, bang, bang, Patricia shot me down.
I did like how she included a review of her own work during the interview. You know, good questions. That's not normally the run of things when you're dealing with a politician in a live interview, but like maybe we should all do it. You know, great question, Caleb. Great interview, Mark. Keep it up, boys.
I mean, this is the thing, Mark, right? You know, he's obviously feeling a bit of pressure at the moment. You don't think you'd do yourself any favours taking on PK like that?
Well, yeah, you would have thought it was a friendly interview, but he was a cranky boy this morning. He woke up very cranky. I don't know what. Maybe it was he looked at the US economy numbers. Maybe he didn't have his coffee. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he was in a real filthy mood this morning. He was straight off. But when the US economy numbers came out and cutting inflation, cutting in interest rates as well, it's a huge impression on how poor we are doing here. So he started off on the back foot from the very beginning, and he's got sort of two mechanisms. One is just to spin, and when he can't spin enough, he lies. And he sort of said that they've got a slower economy than us, when in reality, I think they've got 4 times the growth that what we do. And then the second one's just to get defensive. And we see that, Albo, in question time all the time as that belligerent, sort of angry, curt, terse guy, not the sort of emotional, heartfelt guy that you see at press conferences. That guy is sort of, that's not real.
Maybe Toto jumped up on the bed a little too early this morning, demanding to be fed. While we're on politicians, Tim, the MPs in New South Wales are being sent back to school, essentially. They're now going to have to undergo sort of mandatory anti-bullying training because they did some investigations into conduct in Parliament House and found there was too much bullying and too much sexual harassment. I mean, for heaven's sake, these people are meant to be running the show, Tim, and they need to be put through these corporate modules.
Well, most of us get out of that anti-bullying sort of stuff. It's sort of a kindergarten first couple of years of school thing where you're taught not to, push smaller kids over, or be pushed over. In my case, tragic smaller child. But I love how in the wording of this, they actually say something like, there's an unacceptable level of sexism and sexist behaviour. Like there's an acceptable level. There's a level at which it's like, oh, that's okay, that's fine. That's Benny Hill in the 70s. We can roll with that. But this other sexism, that's just way beyond the pale. Terrible. So yeah, that's a bit confusing.
I wish they'd bring back Benny Hill. I grew up on a diet of old British sitcoms. Now, Benny Hill was brilliant, but of course you probably couldn't show it these days. But I just can't get over how are any of us, Mark, meant to be held to any sort of standard when the people who are meant to be setting the standards clearly have no standards themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point, Caleb. Yeah, but I don't know. There's part of me that thinks is like, forcing me to do bullying training seems like the sort of idea that an absolute loser would come up with. That's real geek behaviour. They should be getting noogies, and we should be flushing their heads down the dunny. I wouldn't be doing anti-bullying stuff. That's the stuff of wusses. That's not for me.
We're going to have to put you through the training very soon if you're not Tim. But Tim, I have to say that there was a moment of levity in New South Wales Parliament this week, courtesy of Mark Latham. Take a look at this.
I thank all the contributors. I noticed, though, when I moved the motion, the Honourable Anthony Albanese was jumping up to take a point of order. He jumped up that quickly, I thought his pager had gone off.
Bit of a zinger, Tim.
Behind the timers, Mark, because I understand it's now not Hezbollah, it's Hezlah, because they've lost their bowls.
Very good, very good. Now, Mark, and I can see you losing it there. But Gen Z, into which I fall, it's apparently between 1995 and 2009. There's been a survey done into who's happy at work and who's not happy at work. I'm just telling the Sky Bosses I'm quite happy at work right now. But Gen Z are apparently the most unhappy people in the workplace, and meanwhile the baby boomers are the happiest.
Yeah, and interesting as well, Caleb, like 71% of government workers are really happy at work as well. But what is still surprising to me is that, 100% of these people filled out a survey. I don't know about these people. Like, what are they doing at work if they're filling out surveys at work? I'd be fuming. Well,
you know what? It could be a good way to avoid doing some work, and it might make them a bit happier, Tim. But I don't know whether you saw recently, there was a campaign, or at least a social media thing, from the health department in Queensland, where they were telling people that it was okay to poo at work. I mean, is that why they're all so unhappy? They didn't realise. They didn't realise it was okay. I always thought that if you did it on company time, you were getting paid to go to the cars.
I assume they meant do it in an appropriate venue, not just at your desk. That'd be a bit dramatic. I always think when we get these sort of surveys about workplace happiness and so on, there was a lovely line in Viz several decades ago. Viz, the British satirical magazine, advising potential employers to discard half of job application letters as soon as they arrive, because you don't want to hire unlucky people. So maybe that would sort things out.
Fair enough. Now, Kamala Harris, look, if there's someone who probably is experiencing some workplace happiness right now, it's Kamala Harris. She got rid of Joe Biden. She may well be the next president of the United States. Even if she is doing a bad job, she doesn't realise she's doing a bad job, so she's quite happy anyway. But we've become used to these sort of nonsense one-liners from her, Mark, and, well, here's one of the latest.
I grew up understanding the children of the community are the children of the community.
Oh, the children of the community, who would have known? I think we've heard this one before, though.
You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
What on earth is she on about, Mark?
I'm so excited, Callum. Drunk Mumala is back. We are back in. They've gotten overconfident after the debate. They've let off the strings just a little bit. They've let her flourish, go do her thing. They've gotten a bit overcocky, overconfident now. I got a few love letters last week by saying that Trump lost the debate from listeners of watchers of the show. Weren't very kind. I was just speaking the truth, but I think this is exactly what we need to be doing with her. Is just let her talk, because she'll drown herself. I'm excited. I want her to keep going, Mumala. I want to see more of this.
100%. Just very quickly before we go, Tim, have a listen to Trump at a rally today.
We can do all of this and more, but patriotic New Yorkers must get your asses out to vote. Got to get up. Got to get up. Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry.
How bloody good's that, Tim?
Absolutely. And now we see it. New York is in play. If Harry can get up, if we can now see the phrase fat ass in a presidential campaign, anything can happen, my friend. Anything can happen. The entire Eastern Seaboard's in play.
Mate, the future of the world is on Harry's shoulders right now. Tim Blair, Mark Nicholson.
Well, I wouldn't say his shoulders, but somewhere.
It might be something else. Tim Blair, Mark Nicholson, thank you for your time.